Hello everybody, how are you today? Well, we are starting a new week and we are almost finished with our first unit. We are almost finished with module number 3. Okay, so in today's lesson, we are only going to check, we are going to listen some dialogues and we are going to do some writing and speaking practice, okay? So please, I want you to open your student's book on page 16 on lesson 1G, okay? And I want you to look at your computers and please, what can you see in these pictures? Everybody please look at the photos and you have some sentences there. Match the photos with the sentences and tell me what did you do or what do you usually do in summer, okay? But first, tell me, picture number 1. What do you think it's the sentence for this picture? Okay, very good. I went surfing every day. Remember, if I ask you a question in past, you must answer in past, okay? The question is, what did you do in the summer? I am using the past tense of the verb go. I went surfing every day. Now, picture number 2. What do you think about this? Okay, very good. So it says, I helped my mom in her shop. What did you do in the summer? I helped my mom in her shop. Number 3, look at the picture. What did you do in the summer? I helped out at my local youth club. Okay, we are using the verbs in the past tense. Remember that it is very important for you now to start learning all your verbs in past and past participle form and check the meaning in Spanish, please. And let's check the last picture. What did you do in the summer? I revised for my university exams, okay? As you can see, we have 3 regular verbs and 3 regular verbs and 1 irregular. Go, went. Do you remember that? Okay, if you want to look at your answers, please, I want you to write this question at the beginning of the page, and you have to write 2 different sentences about what did you do in the summer, okay, in the summer of 2019, 2019, okay? So here are the answers, okay? If you want to write 2 sentences from here, it's okay. If you want to write 2 different sentences, it's okay too, okay? Okay, so let's start with your lesson. And it says, look at the photo. Everybody please look at this picture. And can you tell me what kind of sport is this? Okay, it's surfing, right? How do you think it feels to do it? Do you think he is scared? Scaring? What do you think about this sport? How do you think you will feel if you practice this sport? Can you tell me? For example, do you think it is exciting? Maybe. Okay, maybe it's funny, amazing. What do you think about that? Okay, so please write your answer in this little space that you have here in exercise 1. Do you know this sport? What sport is this? It's surfing. And how do you think it feels to do it? Amazing, exciting, terrible. Okay, so write your answer there. Now let's go to exercise 2. Complete the dialogue with the correct affirmative or negative past simple form of the verbs below. Okay, let's check the past tense of the verbs that you have here. Be, was, or were. Get, got. Learn, learned. Live, left. Love, loved. Ed. Spend, spent. T. Watch, watches. Okay, so you have to complete exercise 2 with the past tense of these verbs. So you have 2 or 3 minutes to complete this dialogue, and then we can check the answers at the same time as you can hear the audio, okay? Yes, it was. I learned a new sport. Yes, I loved it. Okay, so please listen and check your answers from exercise 2. Okay, does the photo go with the first or second half of the dialogue? How did you know? Please listen to it.
Lesson 1G, Exercise 3.
Hi, Laurie. How are you? Tell me about your summer holiday.
Well, for the first 3 weeks, I was at a summer camp in Cornwall.
Really? That sounds like fun.
Yes, it was. I learned a new sport, bodyboarding.
Wow, that sounds great.
Yes, I loved it. It was really exciting and a bit frightening too.
I bet. What else did you get up to over the summer?
Well, the second half of the holiday wasn't so good. I got a stomach bug and spent nearly a week on the sofa.
Oh dear, how awful.
I didn't leave the house for days. I just watched DVDs. I was so bored.
Okay, so as you have listened to this dialogue, please check your answers. I have written my answers here. Please check your answers now. And now we're going to listen to 4 girls talking about events over the summer. Match the speakers 1 to 4 with events A to E. For example, if you listen to speaker 1, that she got sunburned, so you have to write here number 1. You have to match this, then the speaker with the letters in here. And then circle the correct adjective to describe how she felt. Do you remember the adjectives that are using to describe feelings? Okay, we are still continue checking these kind of adjectives, okay? If you don't understand the meaning of some of them, you can look up in your dictionaries and write with pencil or with pen the meaning in Spanish there, and try to use it frequently so you can understand it better and you can memorize it in a better way, okay? So please listen.
Lesson 1G, Exercises 4 and 5. Speaker 1.
I spent the last 2 weeks of the summer holiday with my cousins in Newcastle. While I was there, I took part in the Great North Run, a half marathon. I'm not a keen runner, but 2 of my cousins are, so I ran with them. 21 kilometres. The amazing thing is, I actually didn't feel exhausted at the end. I couldn't understand it. Okay, so my time wasn't very good, but I didn't really care about that. I was just amazed I finished it.
Speaker 2.
I was in Cornwall for 2 weeks with my family. We stayed in a cottage near the sea. The weather was great, hot and sunny every day. In fact, I got burned quite badly on my shoulders. My brother really laughed at me, but I didn't think it was amusing at all. In fact, I was quite anxious about it. After all, sunburn can cause serious problems with your skin when you're older. In fact, I went to see my doctor about it when I got back. She said I had to be more careful next time.
Speaker 3.
In August, there was a dance competition in the sports centre. It was ballroom dancing, like on that TV show Strictly Come Dancing. Well, I go to dance class every week and I'm not bad, so I entered the competition. I danced really well, I think, but I didn't win. Later, I found out some information about the winners. Their brother and sister, and guess where their dad works? At the sports centre. I don't think it was a fair competition. I mean, I saw them and they weren't very good.
Speaker 4.
At the beginning of the summer, I spent a week on the south coast of England with my dad. I went to visit my friend Macy, who moved there last year. She's got an amazing house. It's got about 7 bedrooms and a cinema room. And the garden is enormous. There's a swimming pool and a tennis court. I wish I lived in a place like that. I really do. She's so lucky.
Okay, so please let's check our answers. If you have, I don't know, more than 2 missing spaces there that you couldn't answer, please listen again to the speakers and try to answer it before you check your answers with my answers, okay? So it says, worried. Here the adjective is worried, okay? And speaker number 2, okay? Letter B, speaker 1. And the correct answer is surprised, okay? Now, here there is no speaker, speaker 3, and the correct adjective is suspicious. And the last one, speaker 4 and envious, okay? So please, here are your answers, please check them. Okay, as you have listened to these 4 little dialogues, you can listen to a simple structure to narrate some events. For example, you listen the scene, okay, the place where it took place, okay, el lugar en donde se llevó a cabo, okay, set the scene where, when, the date, and who. Maybe who was there, your friend, your family, your father, okay. Number 2, say what happened, okay. Maybe you missed the train, maybe you won the competition, so you explain what happened in that place at that time. And 3, say how you and or others felt about it. How did you feel about that experience? Okay, we have already talked about this since we start checking the unit number 1. Okay, we talk about some events in the past, so we have to use the past simple tense to describe these events. Okay, remember that you have to learn your verbs so you can describe these kinds of actions in a better way. Now in exercise number 5, it says read the speaking strategy, then listen to speakers 1 to 4 again. Do they all follow the suggested structure? Okay, we have this structure and it says set the scene, they talk about the place, the date, and the people who were there. Number 2, they explain what happened, and number 3, they explain how did they feel. Okay, so listen again and answer this question.
Lesson 1G, exercises 4 and 5. Speaker 1.
I spent the last 2 weeks of the summer holiday with my cousins in Newcastle. While I was there, I took part in the Great North Run, a half marathon. I'm not a keen runner, but 2 of my cousins are, so I ran with them. 21 kilometres. The amazing thing is, I actually didn't feel exhausted at the end. I couldn't understand it. Okay, so my time wasn't very good, but I didn't really care about that. I was just amazed I finished it.
Speaker 2.
I was in Cornwall for 2 weeks with my family. We stayed in a cottage near the sea. The weather was great, hot and sunny every day. In fact, I got burned quite badly on my shoulders. My brother really laughed at me, but I didn't think it was amusing at all. In fact, I was quite anxious about it. After all, Sunburn can cause serious problems with your skin when you're older. In fact, I went to see my doctor about it when I got back. She said I had to be more careful next time.
Speaker 3.
In August, there was a dance competition in the sports centre. It was ballroom dancing, like on that TV show Strictly Come Dancing. Well, I go to dance class every week and I'm not bad, so I entered the competition. I danced really well, I think, but I didn't win. Later, I found out some information about the winners. Their brother and sister, and guess where their dad works? At the sports centre. I don't think it was a fair competition. I mean, I saw them and they weren't very good.
Speaker 4.
At the beginning of the summer, I spent a week on the south coast of England with my dad. I went to visit my friend Macy, who moved there last year. She's got an amazing house. It's got about 7 bedrooms and a cinema room. And the garden is enormous. There's a swimming pool and a tennis court. I wish I lived in a place like that. I really do. She's so lucky.
Okay, so I think they follow all the structure, but let's check your answers, okay? Okay, so do they all follow the suggested structure? Yes, they do. Okay, they mention the place, the date, who were there, they explain what happened, and they explain or they said how did they feel about this experience they had, okay? So let's continue with exercise number 6. And it says, read the phrases for reacting and showing interest. Then find 3 more in the dialogue in exercise 2. So it says, reacting and showing interest. These are some phrases that you can use to show interest or to react for an action, okay? So it says, you're joking, you're kidding. How boring, how funny, how frustrating, how exciting, how upsetting. That's amazing, that's exciting, that's worrying, and that's shocking. That sounds great, that sounds terrible, that sounds annoying, and that sounds terrifying. What a cool thing to do. Really, I'm so nervous. Really, what a relief. That sounds like a nightmare. Oh no, what a disaster. Oh no, what a shame. Okay? So we have already some phrases here to express feelings, to express interest, or to react to something. Okay? Now I want you to look for 3 more examples in dialogue number 2, please, and write here in a little space the other phrases. Okay? The phrases that you can find from the dialogue number 2 are, wow, oh dear, how awful. Okay, so please write the answers here next to exercise 6. Now, we have a speaking practice, but we are going to do it in a writing practice. Okay, so it says, take turns to say a sentence from the list below using the correct past simple form of the verbs in brackets. Your partner reacts with a suitable phrase from exercise 6. For example, I said, I want you to write here this sentence into the past tense. So you have to write, I finally finished my science project. And please write a phrase from here. What can you write here, please? That's amazing. Okay. Number 2, I learned to play a new song on the guitar. That sounds great. Number 3, those are my examples, okay? You can write your own examples. You can use different phrases from here, okay? But remember that you have to write again the complete sentence in the past tense. I broke a bone in my foot. Oh, that sounds like a nightmare, or what a shame. I dropped my dad's laptop. What a disaster. I fell asleep at my cousin's wedding. How boring, no. What a relief. Really? Really? Okay, you can write that if you want, okay? So please don't forget you have to write these five sentences into the past tense. You have to change this verb into the past, but you have to write a complete sentence, not only the verb. You have to write a complete sentence here in this space. And next to the sentence, you have to write a react or showing interest phrase from exercise 6, okay? Now we will go to the vocabulary builder on page 117, please. So everybody go to that page. And we're going to answer the vocabulary from this lesson. Okay, so it's Unit 1, Lesson 1G, Basic Meanings of get. The verb get has several basic meanings. For example, to receive, what did you get for your birthday? I got a lot of presents. To buy or collect, we went out to get a newspaper, or we went out to get some vegetables to cook the meal. To catch or take the transport, which train did she get? Okay, it means catch. To arrive, we got home at midnight. Or to become, I'm getting hungry. So as you can see, we can have different meanings from the verb get. Okay, as we continue checking these lessons, we are going to check some phrasal verbs. The phrasal verbs are something similar, a verb with a preposition, and it could change the meaning as you usually know as this verb, okay? But I think all of these meanings are very easy to understand. So in exercise 1, it says complete the sentences with the correct form of get in your notebook. Match the sentences to the correct basic meaning A to E from the Learn This box, okay? So take a few minutes, please, to answer this exercise, and then we can check it. So it says, it was dark when we got to the hotel. What example is this? To arrive, right? It was too far to walk, so we decided to get a taxi. So it's C, to catch or take transport. We live on the equator, so it gets dark at the same time every evening. B, to become. On the way to the hospital yesterday, we got some flowers for my aunt. B, to buy or collect. And my brother is really excited because he is getting a new phone for his birthday. Receive, okay, letter A. Write one more example for each basic meanings A to E of get. So please, you have to use a post-it here or a little piece of paper, and you have to paste it here. And you have to write 5 more sentences using the different meanings that you have here in the box. Okay, so please write them. Remember that you have to use the different meanings, okay? And as you have finished, let's go back to page 16 to finish with our lesson for today, okay? So it says, make notes about an event from the summer using points 1 to 3 below. You can use real information or your own ideas. For example, set the scene, where, when, and who. What happened? How did you and the other people feel? So from this exercise, you're going to write something similar from the conversations that you listen on exercise 4 and 5. Okay? Remember that you have to follow the steps. For example, I can give you some examples to help you to write this exercise. Where did it happen? Maybe you choose the beach, okay? Who was there? Maybe your best friends. What happened? You found something amazing. Maybe you found starfish and it was amazing. How did you feel? You felt surprised because you haven't seen one before. Okay, so you have to describe all the event, follow the different steps. Remember that you have to use the past tense. Okay, so you can choose some of the examples that you have here, but you have to make a description, a little description, as you heard in the conversations from exercise 4 and 5, okay? So that's all for today. From exercise 9, we are not going to do anything. We are only going to write here the description of your event from exercise number 8, okay? If you have any problems, please let me know and I can explain you again if it's necessary. So for homework, remember that you have to answer lesson 1G. 1G from your workbook, please. Okay, 1G, and I want you to answer to page 16 and page 17, okay? From your workbook, 16 and 17, 14, 16, and 17 for your workbook today, okay? So please, that's all for today. Thank you very much and see you on tomorrow's lesson.